So Nicole here with my good friend Dana. Good morning, Dana. Thanks for being on with me today. It's always a good day to be on with Dana. So today we're talking about breaking old agreements from an incredible class and book by the same title, called The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And Dana and I have had the privilege of working with Coach Daryl Price. He's affectionately known as the happiness coach, among other things. He is a wellness coach, a health coach. He runs an incredible business down in Ridgecrest, California, with his beautiful bride to be, Megan, really helping people with overall wellness. And he's, like I said, is kind of a top dollar, top notch kind of guy. And he is co-coaching the program with Coach Kebie Whitehead, who is affectionately known as the social media coach in our circle. Not only does she teach business and coaches how to coach, she offers multiple social media classes, breakthrough courses. She's an author, she's a speaker. She's incredible. So these two amazing people have teamed up to do a class based around a book called The Four Agreements. And so I'm bringing Dana on today because she's taken the class a couple of times to break off some old junk. So Dana, welcome. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, and we'll start chatting about the class.
All right. Well, I live in Sacramento, California. I am a wife. I have 4 children, 6 grandchildren. Let's see. I work for the state of California. I've been an employee for 30 years now. Wow, September. Yeah, it's 30 years for me now. Wow. I do have a side hustle where I show people how to naturally nourish their bodies. And just overall, I like to help and support people. So I enjoy being a resource when people have questions. If I can't find the answer, I find a way to get an answer to that person. So I just believe in helping people, meeting people where they are, and just giving insight and resources to people to better their lives.
Yes, yes. Well, and you're doing a great job at it. You might recognize Dana because she does a lot of things on her way to work, and she will give you just a little snippet on her walk from the station to her job, from artists to the local happening place, restaurants, you name it. She just loves to get online and just bring value to the community. And Dana, tell everybody a little bit about your future plan for your soup kitchen.
Yes. So one of my missions is to just help people where they are, be able to establish a healthy, safe place where people can come to get clothes, food, and just resources, whether it's supporting them in their mental health, physical health. And so one of the things that I plan to do is to open a prep station where you actually prep the food and you dispense the food out to the different soup kitchens. And in that, you're also giving people the opportunity to do an internship to become chefs. So for people who maybe have been incarcerated previously, and or even people who their careers are changing. You know, we have technology now, and some people are going to be out of job soon, and they need maybe a different career path, or maybe just decided, you know what, I want to be a chef. So they can come in and get some insight there. We also will be partnering with grocers and farmers to take their food instead of throwing away. Hey, we'll use it. And then again, just being a resource to people for in different areas of their life.
Awesome. So you can tell, folks, that my friend Dana has a huge heart, and she's living that out by putting together programs that truly help people in need and certainly help them where they're at. So speaking of being where you're at, let's talk about the 4 agreements, and let's talk a little bit about what it looks like to come into a class like this with the mindset you start with. And as you move through each agreement, how your mindset has changed, certainly when you started, because this will be the second time or twice you've taken the class. So talk to us a little bit about where you were when you started and how things are, how your mindset is shifting with respect to the agreements.
Yeah, so the first time I took the class, I took it because I heard about the book from other people. And then when I found out that our community was doing a class, I said, you know what, I'm going to hold off reading it until the class opens up for me. So the first time I read it, I was just reading it because it was a referral from several people. And so I didn't really know what it was all about. But as I got into it, I was like, wow, okay, you don't know what you don't know, right? No one is 100%. And as I started reading into the book, I realized, wow, I got some things that I need to work on. So I read the book a second time, and after the second time, I went in and took the class. So now I've read the book 3 times, and on my second round of taking classes, and I really opened up more because now I've read the book 3 times, and I started delving into some issues that I've had, some cobwebs up here, old agreements that are not helping me, they're detrimental to me, that I realize that I need to deal with and entangle and break off in order to move to the next level. So it was really enlightening. Like I say, you don't know what you don't know. You don't know about these agreements until, wow, you read about it, you learn about it, you take action, you apply, and you get with a group of people to bounce ideas off of, and for them to bounce ideas off of you, because a coach sees things that you can't see, okay? Because we have our blinders on and they see from a distance. They see really what's going on and can drill down and ask you questions to pull other things out. So, that's what a coach is for. And yeah, I highly recommend taking the class, reading the book, and taking the class. These 2 coaches are dynamite.
Absolutely, absolutely. So can you give somebody or give us an example? And I'll share just a brief experience. For me, there are 4 agreements, and they're called being impeccable with your word, not to take anything personally, always doing your best, and to not make assumptions. And for me, the don't make assumptions agreement was the biggest blindside for all the work that I've done. And I've done a lot of personal development over the last 4 or 5 years. And I was surprised to see and hear and learn about so many agreements that I had been making based on assumption. And for me to not do that anymore and to become more aware of how often I was doing that and how it was affecting my relationships. So for me, that was a really big aha. I'll be taking the class again to knock out some of these other agreements. Can you give everyone an example of what it was like for you going through that class? And was there any one agreement in the couple times that you took it that really changed something for you?
Yeah, so I will have to agree with you on not making assumptions, but I'll tell you as well. So not taking things personally. Everything was about me. And I realized, wow, that's really selfish, right? But yes, but I will say the big one for me was not making assumptions. I assumed people knew what I liked. I assumed people heard what I said. I assumed that I heard what they said. So going back and making it clear in language is one thing that I had to learn how to do. And also just overall assuming things. So I'll tell you a story, if you don't mind, Nicole.
Yeah, please.
So it's really funny. So I sent some information to a lady, gave her some samples on some of the products that we offer, and texted her, asked her, hey, how do you like the information? Oh, text it to me. Okay, so I texted her the information. This was like, I don't know, September, October of one year. And I never heard from her. And I'm like, okay, well, what happened? Well, I'd already taken this class, so I already didn't form an opinion. I didn't make any assumptions. And, the kind of business we're in, people respond, people don't, but I've learned to not assume things. So January 1st, I get this text message, oh, Happy New Year. And I'm like, oh, Happy New Year to you too. It was a nice, pretty text. I'm like, oh, thank you, thank you. And by the way, who is this? Because I just want to save your number. I want to make sure we stay in contact. Who is this, by the way? And she's like, oh, I thought we were friends. This is da 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 da. And I'm like, oh my gosh, of course we're friends. Well, guess what? I had transposed her phone number. I had flipped the last 2 digits of her number. So back in September, October, if I had assumed she was avoiding me, if I had assumed she was just, ooh, no, Dana, I would be having all kind of thoughts about her up here, right? But
Sure.
I just, switched it off. Guess what? I had just simply had the wrong phone number for her. So that's one of the things that I really worked on was not making assumptions, making my conversation and communication clear. Um, just not assuming anything because people have things going on in their lives.
Right.
People, we all do. So some people respond, some people don't communicate clearly. I don't communicate clearly, so it's best so that there's no confusion
Mm-hmm.
to start working on communication, and therefore you don't make assumptions. It's clear
Mm-hmm.
what you're saying. It's clearly that you and the person are understood, and it just makes life and relationships so much easier.
Oh, for sure. And you can cut yourself a break a little bit. You know what I mean? For those of you who are, you know, types that beat yourself up too much, I don't think we should be beating ourselves up at all. But if you really are one of those kind of folks, so let's talk a little bit, Diana or Dana, about people who take this class and what would be if they have a certain mindset or they're struggling with something. What's the ideal person to, or why would they want to take this class?
I say anyone should take the class because, like I said, people think they don't have problems. Oh, I'm good. But they
Right?
start reading this book and realize that, yeah, they've got some stinking thinking going on that they need to break off. So I would say, I mean, it's just not any one person. Everyone needs to read this book. Um, it's better for relationships. It helps you in your personal life, your work life, your business life, because I've actually transferred a lot of these things that I've learned into my work life as being a supervisor, and just being an employee, um, not taking things personally. Someone's, decisions and politics in the workplace happen, and I can't take things personally. So, I mean, I recommend everyone take the class. I mean, from age 12, 13, 14 up, when you start making decisions and just start being your own person, to the class is wonderful. The book will help in all different aspects of your life. So I say everyone should read the book.
Absolutely. So if you have any contact with other humans, you're making
Yes.
agreements with those people every single day. So what Dana and I are trying to get at is it doesn't matter what industry you're in. It doesn't matter what type of work that you do. If you have contact with other people, you are constantly making agreements in these 4 areas, which I'll repeat again is being impeccable with your word. And what that means is to speak with integrity and to say only what you mean. And how many of us on many occasions, especially if you're heated or you're emotional about something and you say something that's not necessarily what you mean. So this class will help you to break off some agreements, especially when that's coming at you, right? When someone's talking to you and they've made an agreement or made an assumption, or they're taking something personally that you said, is that you are allowed and able to walk through a situation with someone. And it's not even just how to work better with people, it's to understand your own mindset and your old training and your old programming that we got growing up. I mean, to be in society, which we all live in, if we're here and we're navigating the waters of working in a society, we have already been accustomed and trained to think a certain way in order to live in that society. So it's a lot of fun. Dana and I had a great time in this class. We highly recommend it. Another one is starting here pretty soon. Actually, I think the October class is full. So the next class I think that Daryl and Kebie will be offering will be in February, if I'm not mistaken. So thank you, Dana, for your testimony today and for always just bringing light and life to the world. And I just so appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much for the interview. I really appreciate the collaboration, the community that we are in. It's just so great to be in a group with like-minded people wanting to help other people in all aspects of life. Thank you
Amen.
so much.
All right, love. You take care, and we'll be in touch again very soon.
Very good. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, let's stop our recording.